All right. Happy Saturday. We are live. I hope you have your cup of coffee. I have mine. It's jolly.
I finished mine, Claudia.
Oh, you did. Okay. So I drink a peppermint mocha. That's the creamer that I use. It's by Jabani. It's so good.
And
What
it's
do
the
you,
season for it too.
yeah, what do you put in your coffee?
I do a lot of tea, actually. I don't do too much coffee.
Okay.
I'll do a lot of tea, classic milk and sugar. And then sometimes, especially around this season, I do a lot of hot cocoa. Like me and the kids
Oh,
just had a lot
yeah.
of hot cocoa yesterday. So
I
it was good.
love it. I
Warms us
love chocolate. Love chocolate.
up. They love a good hot cocoa in front of a
Yeah.
holiday movie.
Ooh, with some whipped cream and some
Yes.
sprinkles on top. All right, that's so perfect for the holidays. So, well,
Mhm.
thank you for joining me on a Saturday morning. I am going to introduce you to my audience. I'm not sure who shows up on a Saturday morning on LinkedIn. Oh, but we're streaming to Facebook as well as YouTube this morning. And people often watch the recording. So, thank you all for watching. If you watched the replay, Dr. Stacy Bentil has been a nurse for 20 years and is a DMP. She's also the founder of Bentil Healthcare Consulting. She's committed to nurturing the next generation of nurse leaders. So, through her personalized mentorship, practical training, and actionable curriculum, she's getting it all done and helping raise great nurse leaders. So, this morning, we're going to talk all about what you're doing in the industry, including we want to hear all about Bentil Leadership Institute and what it offers new nurses that are looking to go into leadership. Welcome. I can't wait to hear all about it.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is so exciting. It's such a passion of mine, so I get super excited.
Yeah, yeah. You should be excited about it. Yeah, absolutely.
So with the Bentil Healthcare Consulting, we have the institute component, and with the
Okay.
Bentil Leadership Institute, we really focus on nurses that are aspiring to be nurse leaders. Nurses are all leaders, especially when they're at the bedside. As soon as they come out of nursing school, we're already grooming them to be leaders when you're providing care to patients, especially direct care to patients. But we also want to look at their career ladder. We want to identify the nurses that do demonstrate those leadership capabilities and characteristics. We already start to groove them into being the charge nurse. If you go to skilled nursing facilities, I mean, they're doing amazing work, but holding down a unit of 12 plus patients. We're seeing some verbalize to say part of my path is I want to eventually be a chief nursing officer or director of nursing. So we really want to develop them, provide them the tools and the support. So I do have a curriculum that we go by. It's called the Bentil in Bentil Leadership Institute is the B.L.E.N.D leadership development program that are for nurses, and that the curriculum is really enticed and enhanced and in depth for them to be well equipped to to be the nurse leader that they really aspire to be.
That's awesome. So, how does a nurse find out about your training program? Are you going into the organizations and introducing the program? Are they finding you online or on LinkedIn? How does a nurse even know that she could find a mentor to help her become a leader?
That's an amazing question because everyone has different personalities. Some are introverts, some are extroverts. And for the ones that are not so open and really would like a mentor, they begin to do that search. And sometimes you really hit bumps in the road with identifying a mentor that's, alignment with me, that's going to understand me, what I'm looking for, my needs, my aspirations, and we connect. Like you really have to have that, you know, interpersonal connection with them. So I think sometimes that's missing when identifying a good mentor and or coach.
Mm.
But they are so creative, especially this generation that's coming out, Claudia. They will find you. And social media is probably the biggest platform. And I have most of all of the platforms now. Every day is a new one. There's X, there's Threads, there's all these different things now. But we do have an Instagram. I do have a Facebook. They will message me. Conferences is another way. Especially if I'm doing any speaking engagements, they'll find you afterwards and say, "Hey, I really would like to talk to you about this idea or that idea." So definitely all social media. I have a YouTube channel as well, so some do follow there as well.
Oh,
So where I
nice.
can really just continue to give them some tips, give them some gems. But when they really need that one-on-one time with me as well, I'm always available to support them.
That's awesome. I love that you're doing conferences. I actually hired my very first coach 10 years ago from a conference. He was a speaker at a conference. And after hearing him speak, I said, I want that guy to be my coach. And I tracked him down in the conference. And and we became friends. I hired him, and he's still till this day. In fact, he's a nurse. He's an RN and
Oh,
a veteran. And he actually, I interviewed him, did a LinkedIn Live with him not that long ago, Rick Martinez. So you can
wow.
go back and watch that. But just a great guy
Absolutely.
and great business coach and great mentor. I'm not a nurse, but I have a staffing agency, and he owned and sold a very large staffing agency. So he became a mentor in that way. Yeah. So conferences is a really great way for people to find you and
Yeah,
to
you
get
really
inspired by you.
yeah, you
Um,
make those instant connections when you're like,
yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta get that number before I go, or that card, or the QR code now today
Yeah.
too." So,
Or in my case, you just gotta like run up to them and like, we need to
yeah,
talk.
hey, I need you.
Yeah, so that's really cool. So your program consists of, is it online or is it a one-on-one? Is it group coaching? What does the program actually look like? And then how easy is it for a nurse to go through the program, being that nurses work 12-hour shifts,
Yeah,
often overtime, and then they're always studying for something for that next level.
their next
So,
level, their
I
next
mean,
journey, and then they
yeah.
have a family, and then they're either a
Yeah,
mother
then
or a
they have
father.
family. I'm like,
Yeah,
so
so it's a
how
lot.
in the world do they join a program, and how do we make it so that they're able to complete the program in a timely manner? And can you tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So the Blend Leadership Development Training Program, it's an online enrichment curriculum. So it is self-paced. They can go through, it's 5 modules. They can go through the modules. They have workbooks that go with it. They have scenarios, role playing, and then of course they have some live time with me. The group mentorship program is consists of up to six mentees of mine, I should say, or mentors in a program. And they really go through not only talking about the Blend Leadership Development Program, but also what they're facing in their actual workplace, in their settings, and whether they're going through accreditation and say, hey, has anyone been through this? Or, you know what, I'm really having this challenge at work. Has anyone, what's the best way to navigate this challenge? Do I go to HR? They really have their home place where they can really talk to each other as nurse leaders to say, these are challenging times. It's not an easy role. A lot are on their shoulders. So we actually go through a lot of the well-being and really tap into wellness for them as well. And then of course the VIP one-on-one coaching is one-on-one with me, where I'm either helping them with career development in addition to navigating challenges, in addition to strategizing what their organization is looking for their outcomes, their individual outcomes, because sometimes you need that too. We get a lot of ask when you're the director and up, and it's like, am I even doing this right? You need that, outside resource, that home space where
Yeah.
you can go to and say, let's pitch ideas together. So I always think of like, I'm the quiet whisper behind these leaders that really make them outshine and really go hard and go be the go-getters that they are.
It's so important to have somebody like that. And, somebody from the outside looking in, giving you a different, fresh
Yeah.
perspective,
Mhm.
somebody who is not emotionally involved in the team, so that
Correct.
you,
Correct.
right? So that you can get
Yeah.
some solid advice on how to
It's
navigate some of the situations with your peers
yeah.
and with those you're managing. So that I think it's so important. I think everyone should have a mentor or a coach. I
Yeah,
am a big
it's so
advocate of
important.
that. I know
Have
that
to
there are,
invest in it. They
yes,
have to invest
yes.
for your own personal and professional growth. It
Mhm.
really, I wish I had everything you just described, Claudia. I wish I had that when I was in some of my key leadership positions, because you feel like it's brain dump on you. It's all on you. What are you going to do? I hope this
Mhm.
is right. I think this
Yeah.
is right. And let's just hope that I'm presenting this in the right manner and having the right outcomes for the organization and C-suite and your executive leaders. So, and I did not. So I wish I did, but
Oh,
that's why
yeah.
I really said, I know what they need because I've been in their shoes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I know how important it is to train those that you're trying to bring up in leadership. I've made the mistake as a director once hiring somebody that wasn't ready to move up into a management role, that they were so good at what they did in their seat. So we saw something in them, but
Mhm.
they just, when we put them in that manager role, they were it was like
You see, I
foreign to
saw,
them, and it was like, every day was like, huh,
yeah,
what, and I
crumbling
was like,
every day. Then
oh
they get
wow, like, so
here.
we need to actually train
You
the
need,
managers. We can't just put them in a management role because
yes,
they're excellent
correct.
employees and because they want the role,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That
So,
and that's a great point. Very
yeah.
valid point. And sometimes I think HR and the talent acquisition department in these large healthcare organizations or small,
Mhm.
um, before we promote or really even hire, whether internal or external, let's make sure they have the ongoing support resources and tools. And that may not be within the organization.
Yeah.
It may be without, like you said, that having that
Mhm.
emotional piece. Because just promoting or placing in these higher level leadership positions, it's like, what's the expectation? How does it look? Are they capturing it? How do they navigate? The B.L.E.N.D Leadership Development Program is a acronym. So the B is for building relationships. How do
Mhm.
you build these relationships? If I'm quiet and I'm just used to just, being the bedside nurse, and now I'm the nurse manager, how do
Yeah.
I build relationships with other nurse managers now that before I was reporting to? It's so many variances of situations that they need to
Yeah.
know how to do that. The L is for leadership. The E is still honing in on ethical principles as a leader. We
Mm.
still have to really value these ethical principles, especially today with AI and everything going on. The ethical
Mhm.
principles is still very important. N is navigating challenges, and you will meet a lot of variety of challenges. If you
Mhm.
were the nurse with your peers and your colleagues, and
Mhm.
now you oversee your colleagues because you're now the
Mhm.
unit manager or the nurse manager. How does
Yeah.
that look like with approving vacations times and
Yeah.
I have to deny you for today, or I gotta actually have some conflict resolution with you? It's not always
Yeah.
easy. That's a challenge for some of them. And we can talk about a variety of different challenges that they will endure, and how to
Mhm.
navigate those are very important. So we do go through that. And the D is having the discipline and knowing and honing it into DEIB. And how does that look like today?
Mhm.
And how do we provide care for all the variety of communities that we serve, whether it's LGBTQ, whether it's, cultural variances. So it's really important to make sure that's ongoing as society and modernized nursing and healthcare changes and evolves every day.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I think that when we raise up leaders within our organization, that's really good, right? It creates a culture of, expectation of, they're looking out for me. They're going to help me grow. I'm not going to get stuck, as a lower level nurse, but I'm going to keep continuing to move up. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, if you don't have those resources in place, the mentors, the coaches, the training in place, you may shy away from that. You
Yeah.
may not, as a nurse, you may have something in you that would make you a great leader, but you're not quite sure. And there would be some, you would be hesitant to go to the next level if you don't feel supported. And so
100%.
I think that it's really important for organizations to hire consultants such as yourself. And so you're doing a great job, and it's really neat to see how you're able to touch so many lives with the group coaching. That sounds
Mhm.
like it also probably allows them to foster some community where they don't feel like they're alone in what they're
Correct.
asking, right?
Yes. Yes. And some have
In
formulated some great friendships. They're texting each other. They're really, it's really good to have your own community and people you can rely on too. That's, outside of Oregon. Two are in two different states, but they're looking to meet over the holiday. So it's really exciting work.
That's really cool.
Mhm.
So if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, Stacy, how would they do so?
They can always email me at bentilhealthcareconsulting.com. They can follow me on all my social platforms, which is at Bentil Leadership Institute as well. And they can always
Okay.
book a call. They will see the links, the link trees. They can always message me. A lot of them message as well, but they can
Okay.
always book a call for a free consultation, and I'll be happy to meet with them. So delighted.
Perfect. Perfect. We'll go ahead and put all your information in the comments below. So we'll make it super easy for them to get a hold of you. And thank you so much for
Great.
joining me on
Yeah.
this Saturday, short and sweet,
Yeah.
to the point, and some good stuff. You're giving us some good resources, and so I'm really happy to share them with my network. And thank you so much. I appreciate
Oh, it's
you.
a pleasure. Pleasure. We're definitely
Well,
looking
let's
forward to coming back again and talking about more
yes,
different
yes,
topics.
absolutely. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. We'll talk soon. Thanks,
All
Stacey.
right. Take
Merry
care. Thank
Christmas.
you.
Bye.
Bye.